Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world that often encourages the wearing of masks, metaphorically speaking, where people choose to conceal their true selves beneath layers of carefully curated behaviors. These masks serve as a shield, allowing individuals to navigate through the expectations of society, presenting an image that is far removed from their true essence. But beneath these layers lies something much more profound and revealing: their character. Character is the essence of a person's soul, their core values, and their true identity. Understanding the true nature of a person does not require years of close interaction or exhaustive observation. In fact, there are certain moments and actions that, when observed, can reveal volumes about who someone truly is. There are 5 such moments that, if we pay close attention, can provide a deep and accurate understanding of a person's character. The first and perhaps most telling sign of a person's true character is how they treat those who cannot offer them anything in return. In our day-to-day lives, we often interact with others based on what they can give us, whether it be in terms of power, influence, recognition, or even material rewards. These exchanges are often driven by an underlying desire to gain something, to be seen a certain way, or to fulfill societal expectations. However, the true test of a person's character comes when they encounter those who have no ability to reciprocate. People who cannot offer power, influence, or any kind of material benefit. In these moments, the external forces that typically shape our behavior fall away, and what remains is the person's true nature. How they treat someone with no capacity to benefit them reveals everything about who they really are. Let's take a moment to consider this. Imagine interacting with someone who holds no social or professional influence over you, who cannot offer you any favors, and who cannot elevate your status in any way. In such situations, there is no incentive to act in a certain way, to be polite, or to show kindness, unless that kindness comes from within. Actions taken in these situations are a direct reflection of who a person is at their core. A truly compassionate and kind person will offer respect and consideration to all, regardless of their social standing or ability to reciprocate. These individuals understand that every human being has intrinsic value, and their kindness is not motivated by the potential for recognition or reward, but simply because they believe it is right to treat others well. In contrast, there are others who may choose to dismiss or mistreat those they perceive as powerless, insignificant, or dependent on others. These individuals may act with indifference or even cruelty toward those who cannot offer anything in return. And such behavior often stems from insecurity, arrogance, or a desire to assert dominance. In many cases, their lack of empathy comes from a deeply ingrained belief that some people are simply beneath them, and they feel no obligation to treat these individuals with respect. By doing so, they expose themselves as people who cannot see the inherent value in others, and instead view relationships through a lens of self-interest rather than shared humanity. This inability to treat others with dignity exposes the true limitations of their character. It's important to note that acts of kindness do not always come in the form of grand gestures. The small, everyday interactions we have with others are just as important, if not more so, in revealing a person's true character. How does someone behave when interacting with a waiter, a janitor, or even a stranger on the street? Do they treat these individuals with the same level of politeness and consideration as they would someone of higher status? Or do they ignore, belittle, or treat them as invisible? These seemingly minor moments are often the truest reflections of a person's heart, because they are spontaneous and unscripted. In these interactions, a person's inner values, insecurities, and attitudes toward others are exposed. It is in these seemingly insignificant exchanges that we learn the most about a person's character. Furthermore, treating everyone with respect, regardless of their ability to reciprocate, requires an element of self-discipline. It is easy to treat those who can benefit us with kindness, but it takes true effort to consistently show the same level of compassion and respect to those who cannot offer us anything in return. This behavior is not instinctual. It requires mindfulness, emotional maturity, and self-regulation. In a world that often values power, status, and material gain, choosing to act with kindness toward everyone even those who cannot help us, is a conscious decision. It requires us to rise above the temptation to treat people based on what they can give us, and instead choose to treat them with dignity simply because they are human beings. This principle is also rooted in a deeper, philosophical truth. Every individual has intrinsic worth, regardless of their position in society, their wealth, or their ability to contribute in a measurable way. Those who understand this fundamental truth act with moral clarity. They do not need external validation or incentives to treat others with kindness and respect because their behavior is driven by a personal commitment to doing what is right. They recognize that every person, no matter their status, is worthy of respect, and their actions are a reflection of this deeply held belief. In essence, how someone treats those who cannot offer anything in return is a powerful reflection of their internal world. It reveals whether their kindness is based on principles of compassion, respect, and integrity, or whether it is merely transactional, dependent on what they stand to gain. These moments of genuine interaction, when observed closely, give us the clearest understanding of a person's true character. Another profound indicator of a person's character is how they respond to failure. Failure is an inevitable part of life, and how we handle it speaks volumes about who we are at our core. Success often conceals our flaws and insecurities, allowing us to present a polished version of ourselves to the world. But failure strips away the facade and forces us to confront our true selves. It is in these moments of vulnerability, when we are faced with disappointment or setback, that the real nature of a person is revealed. Some individuals respond to failure with bitterness, blame, or self-pity. They refuse to take responsibility for their shortcomings, instead choosing to blame others or external circumstances for their misfortune. This response often stems from a fragile ego that cannot bear the weight of personal accountability. Rather than accepting their mistakes and learning from them, they hide behind excuses, pointing fingers at others or the world around them. This behavior ultimately prevents them from growing and evolving, as it keeps them trapped in a cycle of denial and stagnation. They see themselves as victims of circumstance, powerless to change their situation, rather than as individuals who can take control of their lives and learn from their failures. On the other hand, there are individuals who respond to failure with humility, resilience, and grace. They accept their mistakes, acknowledge their shortcomings, and take responsibility for their actions. They do not view failure as a reflection of their worth, but as an opportunity to grow and learn. This response reveals a deep strength of character and emotional maturity. Instead of allowing failure to define them, they use it as a stepping stone toward improvement and personal growth. These individuals understand that failure is not the end, but a part of the journey toward success. They possess the ability to bounce back stronger, wiser, and more determined. In conclusion, how a person treats those who cannot offer them anything in return and how they handle failure are two of the most profound reflections of their character. These actions speak to their values, their emotional maturity, and their ability to face life's challenges with grace. In a world where people often wear masks to hide their true selves, it is in these unguarded moments, whether in how we treat others or how we respond to failure, that our true character is revealed. These moments, though small, carry the deepest truths about who we are. They are the clearest indicators of our values and the strength of our character. It is through these actions that we can truly understand the essence of a person. Resilience and integrity are essential qualities that shape how an individual approaches failure. For those who possess these traits, failure is not a final verdict on their abilities or self-worth, but rather an opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve. These individuals view setbacks not as obstacles, but as stepping stones to greater achievements. They have the humility to admit their mistakes and the courage to reflect on what went wrong. What sets them apart is their unwavering determination to try again, knowing that each failure is an integral part of their development. Failure, in their eyes, is a teacher that imparts lessons success could never offer. They understand that overcoming obstacles requires more than just technical skills. It requires a strong sense of character and resilience. This mindset is deeply rooted in their commitment to continuous improvement, and it reflects a personal responsibility to not only succeed but to develop their potential to the fullest. The way a person responds to failure is also deeply intertwined with their approach to effort and perseverance. When confronted with challenges, do they choose to give up, or do they continue to push forward, even when the road ahead is fraught with difficulty? It is in these moments, when success is uncertain and failure is imminent, that true character is forged. Those who persist after falling show a resilience that cannot be easily broken. They have an intrinsic sense of purpose, a compelling reason to keep going even when the end seems distant and elusive. This inner strength drives them to endure not only the physical and mental discomfort that failure brings, but also the emotional burdens of disappointment, frustration, and doubt. Their ability to rise time and time again in the face of adversity demonstrates the remarkable power of human perseverance. Furthermore, emotional regulation plays a significant role in how individuals navigate failure. The emotional turbulence that accompanies failure, feelings of frustration, shame, and anger, can be overwhelming and all-consuming. However, how a person manages these emotions offers profound insight into their emotional maturity. Those who lash out at others, dwell in their emotions, or seek revenge on those they perceive as responsible for their failure demonstrate an inability to process setbacks constructively. Their actions often reflect an emotional immaturity that hinders their growth. In contrast, individuals who maintain composure, reflect thoughtfully on their emotions, and channel their energy into productive actions display an impressive level of self-control and emotional intelligence. They are able to separate their emotions from their decision-making process, allowing them to approach failure with clarity and wisdom. This emotional resilience not only helps them recover from setbacks, but also strengthens their capacity for future success. Failure is an inevitable and universal part of the human experience. It does not discriminate. Everyone, regardless of their background or abilities, will face it at some point. However, what truly sets people apart is how they choose to respond to failure. It is a universal challenge that presents each person with the same fundamental question. How will you respond when things do not go as planned? Will you succumb to despair, or will you rise to the occasion? Those who embrace failure as an opportunity for growth reveal a character that is both resilient and inspiring. Their ability to turn setbacks into stepping stones not only strengthens their own resolve, but also motivates others to persevere in the face of their own challenges. In the end, it is not failure that defines a person, it is how they respond to it that speaks volumes about their character and resilience. Another critical aspect of understanding character is how an individual handles power. Power, more than any other factor, reveals a person's true nature. It magnifies their intentions, values, and motivations. When granted authority or control, whether in a professional context, a personal relationship, or any other setting, power removes many of the external constraints that normally guide one's behavior. It strips away the pretense, revealing the essence of who a person truly is. In these moments, the individual's true character emerges, not because power has the ability to corrupt, but because it exposes. The central question when someone gains power is, what will they do with it? Some individuals use their power to further their own self-interest, seeking to dominate or manipulate others for personal gain. This often stems from deep-seated insecurities, unresolved fears, or a fragile sense of self. For these individuals, power becomes a tool for asserting control, masking their own vulnerabilities, or compensating for feelings of inadequacy. They may belittle others, demand excessive control, or prioritize their own desires at the expense of others' well-being. This misuse of power is not only indicative of a lack of empathy, but it also signals a deep inner turmoil, one that manifests as a desperate need for superiority to hide their fear of failure or rejection. In contrast, there are those who wield power with a sense of responsibility, humility, and service to others. These individuals understand that power is not a right to exploit others, but a privilege to uplift them. They use their position of authority to create environments where people feel valued, respected, and empowered. Their leadership is not about dominance, but about guidance. They recognize that their role is not to stand above others, but to stand beside them, offering support, encouragement, and the tools needed for others to succeed. This approach reveals not only emotional maturity and self-confidence, but also a profound understanding of their role in the lives of others. These leaders do not see their position of power as a means of control, but as an opportunity to serve and foster growth in those they lead. Furthermore, power also tests a person's ability to resist temptation. When in a position of authority, there are often opportunities to act unethically or selfishly with little to no immediate consequence. How a person responds to these temptations speaks volumes about their integrity. Those who prioritize honesty, fairness, and ethical conduct, especially when no one is watching, demonstrate a deep commitment to doing what is right. In contrast, those who abuse their power for personal gain or ignore ethical boundaries reveal a lack of self-discipline and moral grounding. Their actions expose a weak moral compass that could lead to further abuses of power. Finally, how someone handles opposition while in power is another critical aspect of their character. A strong and secure leader remains open to feedback and differing opinions, understanding that true leadership involves listening, adapting, and evolving. They do not see challenges as personal threats, but as opportunities for growth and improvement. On the other hand, those who react defensively, vindicatively, or dismissively to opposition often reveal insecurity and an inability to manage power constructively. Their leadership style is ultimately self-serving rather than empowering. True leadership is not about silencing dissent, but about embracing it as a tool for fostering growth and innovation. Through this openness, a leader's power becomes a force for positive change, not just for themselves, but for everyone they lead. Power is a force that doesn't create a person's character, but rather amplifies and magnifies what already exists within them. It brings to the surface the qualities that lie dormant in an individual. Whether those qualities are noble, like generosity and kindness, or darker, such as selfishness, cruelty, or arrogance. When power is in the hands of someone, it is not what they are given that defines them. It is how they choose to wield it. The choices they make under its influence are a reflection of their true essence. Power, in its purest form, is a mirror to one's character. It reveals the raw, unfiltered nature of the person. Those who choose to wield their power with integrity, humility, and a sense of service inspire admiration and trust from those around them. Their actions speak volumes about their values. In contrast, those who misuse power for personal gain, to intimidate, or to manipulate, not only diminish their own worth, but also erode the trust and respect of others. One of the clearest indicators of a person's character is how they speak about others when those people are not around. These moments, when individuals are free from the immediate judgment or influence of the person they are discussing, often reveal their true feelings, thoughts, and values. In the absence of the subject of their conversation, what they choose to say, whether kind, neutral, or critical, speaks volumes about their principles. Words have weight. The way someone speaks and the language they choose can deeply shape relationships and the environment in which they interact. If someone continually engages in gossip, speaking poorly about others behind their backs, it's often an indication of deeper, unresolved insecurities or personal struggles. Negative talk, especially about those who are not present, is often a tactic used by individuals who feel the need to elevate themselves by diminishing others. This is a manifestation of a comparative mindset, where an individual measures their own worth by putting others down, rather than focusing on self-growth and improvement. While such negative speech may offer a temporary boost to their ego, it ultimately highlights a lack of focus on their own development and a failure to look inwardly to address their own flaws. Speaking ill of others in their absence is also a sign of a lack of loyalty and integrity. If a person is willing to speak negatively about someone who trusts them, it naturally raises questions about their own trustworthiness. If they have no issue betraying or criticizing those who confide in them, why would others believe they would not do the same to them? Beyond the individual's own insecurities, gossip and derogatory remarks create a toxic atmosphere. They sow division, foster mistrust, and cultivate negativity. Often, those who engage in such behavior are blind to the far-reaching consequences of their words. They fail to recognize that their willingness to degrade others reflects poorly on themselves. When people overhear such conversations, they inevitably begin to wonder, if they speak this way about others, what do they say about me when I'm not around? This toxic cycle ultimately undermines relationships, poisons the atmosphere, and erodes the respect that others may once have held for the person engaging in negative talk. On the other hand, when someone speaks kindly or neutrally about others, even when those individuals are not present, it demonstrates emotional maturity, confidence, and integrity. A person who refrains from unnecessary criticism and instead offers understanding, empathy, and respect for others shows that they value relationships above momentary, fleeting gossip. Even in the face of someone they disagree with or dislike, the individual who responds with calmness, fairness, and measured words demonstrates a profound level of character. This ability to rise above emotional reactions and engage in respectful dialogue reveals a depth of self-awareness and an openness to seeing the humanity in others, even in the midst of conflict. Such individuals prove that they can separate emotions from principles and approach all interactions with a sense of empathy and understanding. In professional and leadership contexts, this principle takes on even greater significance. Leaders who uplift their team members, who advocate for them even when they are not present, create an atmosphere of trust, collaboration, and loyalty. Their actions send a strong message that they care about the success and well-being of those they lead, and they value teamwork and mutual support. Such leaders foster a culture of respect, encouraging a positive and constructive environment. On the other hand, leaders who engage in criticism, gossip, or disparaging remarks about their colleagues behind closed doors only serve to breed resentment, mistrust, and division. This destroys the foundation of teamwork and undermines the collective strength of the organization. How someone speaks about others when they are not around is not just a reflection of their opinions about those individuals. It is a window into their emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and moral compass. It reveals whether they approach relationships with generosity and compassion, or with judgment and envy. Words are never neutral. They always carry an intention and energy, shaping not only the relationships we have with others, but also the relationship we maintain with ourselves. The way we speak, even when we believe no one is listening, demonstrates the integrity and strength of our character. Individuals who choose to speak with fairness, honesty, and empathy, even in the absence of others, show that they possess the inner strength and courage to build genuine relationships based on trust and mutual respect. They understand that words are not just expressions of thought. They are powerful tools that shape the very fabric of human connection. Furthermore, the way a person confronts and processes the inevitable truths of life, aging, loss, and death, offers profound insight into their philosophy, emotional resilience, and depth of character. These are universal experiences, ones that confront every individual, regardless of status, wealth, or power. Aging, in particular, challenges our perceptions of ourselves and our place in the world. For some, it triggers fear, resistance, or denial. These individuals may become obsessed with maintaining their youthful appearance, desperate to ward off the inevitable signs of aging. They may seek to hide the natural changes in their appearance, clinging to a society's idealization of youth. Such behavior reveals a deep discomfort with change and impermanence, stemming from a fear of letting go of what is familiar and comfortable. These individuals may struggle to embrace the wisdom and growth that come with aging, as they are too focused on external appearances and societal standards. In doing so, they miss out on the deeper rewards of aging, the opportunity for self-reflection, the accumulation of life experience, and the wisdom that comes with age. The inevitability of aging, loss, and death calls on each of us to confront our own mortality and understand that nothing in life is permanent. The way we approach these realities provides a window into our personal growth, our understanding of the world, and our ability to find meaning in the fleeting moments of life. Aging is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. for it carries with it a profound opportunity for inner growth, reflection, and wisdom. How we choose to navigate this natural progression reveals much about our relationship with time and the impermanence of all things. As we move through the various stages of life, our approach to aging can offer profound insights into who we are as individuals. Those who embrace aging with grace and acceptance show a remarkable understanding of life's natural rhythms. Instead of dwelling on the years that are lost, they focus on the wisdom that comes with the passage of time. These individuals have a deep sense of humility, recognizing that every experience, whether joyful or painful, has contributed to their growth. They approach life with a sense of gratitude for the lessons it brings, using their accumulated knowledge not only to improve their own lives, but to inspire others. Their ability to accept the inevitable changes that come with age reflects a genuine respect for the journey of life, seeing each stage as a valuable part of the greater whole. However, life is not without its trials, and one of the most challenging experiences we all face is loss. Loss can take many forms, whether it's the end of a cherished relationship, the death of a loved one, the loss of material possessions, or the shattering of dreams. Everyone encounters loss at some point, but the way we respond to it can reveal much about our character. Some individuals, overwhelmed by grief, become consumed by their pain. They may retreat into themselves, building walls to protect their hearts from further hurt. This self-imposed isolation can lead to a sense of bitterness that prevents healing, and they may find themselves unable to move beyond their disappointment. In some cases, this resentment may even turn outward, manifesting as anger toward the world and those around them. While these responses are deeply human, they often hinder personal growth and prevent the individual from embracing the future. In contrast, there are those who are able to process their losses in a way that transforms them. Rather than denying their grief, they allow themselves to feel it fully, understanding that pain is an integral part of the human experience. These individuals don't view suffering as something to be avoided, but as an opportunity for transformation. They find meaning in their pain, and through this process, they develop resilience and a greater sense of compassion for others. Their ability to integrate loss into their lives strengthens their emotional maturity and deepens their capacity to connect with others who may be suffering. When it comes to loss, there is one experience that stands above all others: death. The inevitable reality of our mortality is perhaps the greatest test of a person's character. How we confront the reality of death can reveal much about our view of life and the courage we possess to live authentically. Many people, overwhelmed by the concept of mortality, choose to ignore or deny it. They live as though they are immune to the fragility of life, diverting their attention to distractions and superficial concerns. This denial can lead to shallow living, where individuals prioritize fleeting pleasures over deeper, more meaningful pursuits. On the other hand, there are those who face the reality of death head-on. They do not shy away from the uncomfortable truths of existence, but instead embrace them with humility and courage. These individuals understand that mortality is not something to be feared, but something to be acknowledged. By accepting the transient nature of life, they develop a deep appreciation for the present moment and for the connections that give life its true meaning. They learn to focus on what truly matters, shedding the unnecessary distractions that once held their attention. Through this, they find a greater sense of purpose, recognizing that life's brevity only enhances its value. By confronting death, they are able to live more fully, with greater clarity and a deeper understanding of what it means to be alive. Ultimately, how we respond to the inevitable realities of aging, loss, and death speaks volumes about our ability to navigate life with grace. It reveals whether we are ruled by fear or whether we are guided by wisdom and understanding. Those who approach these challenges with grace demonstrate not only strength and resilience, but also the ability to find beauty even in life's most difficult moments. They understand that life's struggles are not obstacles to be avoided, but opportunities to grow and evolve. Through their acceptance and courage, They show that it is possible to find meaning and purpose in even the most painful experiences. True character is revealed not in grand gestures or the moments when the spotlight is on us, but in the everyday actions and decisions that form the foundation of our lives. Words may be persuasive, and appearances can be deceiving, but it is through consistent behavior that the true essence of a person's character emerges. The way we treat others in the routine moments of life, whether it's how we engage with a stranger, how we treat a colleague, or how we respond in seemingly insignificant situations, can tell us everything we need to know about who we really are. It is easy to be kind and polite when there is something to gain or when people are watching. However, true integrity reveals itself when no one is paying attention. It is in the quiet moments, when there is no applause and no reward to be had, that the authenticity of our character becomes apparent. How we treat others when there is no recognition involved speaks volumes about the genuineness of our kindness. These everyday interactions, though small and seemingly insignificant, are what truly define us. When faced with adversity, the true measure of a person's character is once again tested. It's easy to react impulsively, to lash out in frustration or anger when things don't go as planned. But true strength lies in how we respond to the challenges that life throws our way. Individuals who meet adversity with grace, responsibility, and a sense of purpose are the ones who demonstrate emotional maturity. They don't allow their emotions to dictate their actions. Instead, they rise above the immediate impulses, taking measured, thoughtful steps that reflect their resilience and integrity. How we handle failure is another key indicator of our character. Failure is often feared and seen as something to be avoided, but in reality, it is one of life's greatest teachers. It is through failure that we learn, grow, and ultimately become better versions of ourselves. The way we respond to failure, whether we view it as a lesson or as a setback, determines whether we grow or remain stagnant. Those who embrace failure as an opportunity for learning are the ones who demonstrate a true commitment to personal growth. They take responsibility for their mistakes, learn from them, and move forward with renewed determination and a clearer sense of purpose. In the end, it is through our actions, particularly in the most challenging and unremarkable moments, that the true nature of our character is revealed. It is in how we handle the everyday circumstances of life, the obstacles we face, and the way we treat others that we show the world who we really are. Life's greatest challenges offer us an opportunity to demonstrate our strength, resilience, and ability to find meaning in even the most difficult experiences. Through our responses, we uncover the essence of our character, and in doing so, we reveal the legacy we will leave behind. On the contrary, those who refuse to acknowledge failure or go to great lengths to avoid confronting it often reveal a profound lack of self-awareness. Their avoidance of failure is not merely a sign of fear, but rather an unwillingness to face the uncomfortable truths about their own shortcomings. These individuals often build walls around themselves, believing that they must maintain a facade of perfection to avoid vulnerability. However, it is precisely through embracing failure that one can truly evolve. Failure, in its raw form, offers invaluable lessons that can only be learned when we are honest with ourselves and accept that we are not infallible. By shying away from this process, such individuals miss the opportunity to grow, to challenge their assumptions, and to refine their abilities. This unwillingness to confront failure reveals not just a superficial reluctance, but a deeper, more pervasive fear of self-reflection, a fear that keeps them from realizing their full potential. Ultimately, this behavior speaks volumes about their ability, or lack thereof, to evolve as individuals. In stark contrast, a person's true character often becomes even more apparent during moments of success. While some individuals may be swept away by the euphoria of accomplishment, basking in their achievements with an air of arrogance or self-congratulation, others demonstrate remarkable humility. The latter group understands that success is rarely an individual feat. It is often the result of a combination of timing, collaboration, and at times, even a bit of luck. While the former may credit their victories solely to their own talent or hard work, Those who remain humble recognize the contributions of others, acknowledging the collective effort that has led to their triumph. These individuals realize that their success is not theirs alone to claim, but is instead a shared accomplishment, one that involves the support, input, and cooperation of others. This sense of humility speaks to a wisdom that is much deeper than simple modesty. It reflects an understanding that success is not an isolated moment of glory, but rather a culmination of various forces, some of which are beyond one's control. True humility in the face of success is not about belittling one's accomplishments, but about honoring the people and circumstances that made it possible. It demonstrates a profound respect for others and a recognition that no one truly achieves greatness on their own. It is through this humility that a person's character is truly revealed. Those who are humble in success do not seek to diminish their achievements. Instead, they share credit generously, appreciating the role of others in their journey. This attitude towards success underscores a person's integrity and emotional intelligence, showing that they are grounded in reality and understand the importance of collaboration and mutual respect. The way an individual behaves, whether in the most ordinary of moments or during the most intense of pressures, offers an authentic glimpse into their core values and priorities. How a person reacts in times of difficulty, when no one is watching, often reveals their true nature more than any public display ever could. In contrast, words and appearances can be deceiving. A charming smile or well-crafted speech can mask deeper insecurities or disingenuous intentions. But actions, especially consistent ones, provide a far more reliable measure of a person's character. It is through these actions, both the grand gestures and the seemingly insignificant choices, that a person's true character is unveiled. These moments, small or large, reveal a person's integrity, resilience, and emotional maturity. They show us who a person truly is beneath the surface, offering a deeper understanding of their strengths, weaknesses, and values. A person's true character is not defined by how they appear to the world, but by the choices they make when the world is not watching, by how they act in their day-to-day life, and by their unwavering commitment to living with honesty and purpose.